Today's fight, you can see that Jessie Ferguson gives up 3 years, 3 inches, 3/4 of a pound, and 5.5 inches in reach. So the pluses are on the side of Carl Williams, but it is a big opportunity for Jessie Ferguson. The referee is Larry Hazard. The judges are Phil Newman, Tom Kazmarek, and Frank Brunette. The referee does not vote in New Jersey. The manager of Ferguson and trainer is Bowie Fisher. Carmen Graziano is the man training Call the Truth Williams. And here is round 1 scheduled for 10. Left hook is the best weapon, perhaps, for Ferguson. Straight, hard left jab, the best weapon for Carl Williams. Round system for scoring, supplemental 5-point must system in New Jersey. Standing 8 count is in effect. The 3 knockdown rule may or may not apply. That is at the discretion of the referee. And the doctor can stop it and cannot be overruled in the state of New Jersey. Ferguson in the dark trunks and Carl Williams wearing the white. And they open up at a heady pace. In the fight against Larry Holmes, when Carl Williams seemed to tire after 8 rounds, Holmes was particularly effective to the body. And it would appear that Ferguson has that in mind. A hard right hand by Carl Williams. And Ferguson sags back into the corner. It was a hard right hand by Williams to the side of the head. And Ferguson now is trying to weather the round. Williams loaded up and leveraged the right hand, and Ferguson almost sat down. Ferguson in the dark trunks is in trouble. Another hard right hand by Williams, but Ferguson comes out of the corner with a left hook followed by a right, like so many fighters out of the Philadelphia gym. Ferguson tends to throw hooks, which leaves him open in the middle, and Williams stung him with a straight right. Hard right hand over the top by Ferguson, so apparently he's regained his faculty. Ferguson was really hurt in the middle of that first round. Another right hand by Williams. Ferguson slid away from some of it. But now Williams is scoring repeatedly with that right. That 5.5-inch edge in reach seems apparent here in the first round for Carl Williams. A hard shot to the body, a right hand comes over the top, a hard left hand by Williams, and Jessie Ferguson has got his problem. Half a minute to go. He's got a half a minute to survive this first round. Carl Williams, who went 15 rounds with the champion Larry Holmes, coming out big here in this opening round. And now Ferguson gets inside and hammers to the body as we come down toward the end of round number 1. Ferguson looked strong enough at the end of the round, but in the middle of this first round, Ferguson was almost put on the deck from a right hand from Carl the Truth Williams. And Williams is unmarked. Ferguson is battered some. Here is the blow that started the problem. The left hook to the body. And then as he came up, Williams found him with that right hand to the side of the head. And it took the better part of a minute before Jessie Ferguson was able to shake off the effects of it. And as he sits into the corner now and Bowie Fisher and company talk to him, he looks a bit weary. A couple of other major headlines today in sports. Bill Matlock, third baseman, Pittsburgh Pirates, has been traded to the Los Angeles Dodgers for 3 players to be named later. That is a significant trade, particularly for Matlock and the Dodgers. And Danny Marino today, the Miami Dolphins quarterback, at a news conference confirmed that he is going back to camp, hoping that his contract problems can be resolved. But he is going back into training camp, try to get ready for the start of the season with the Dolphins. He's been holding out, as most of you know. We go now to round number 2. Number 1 belonged to Carl Williams. Jessie Ferguson figures to be more effective if he can work inside. So far, Williams has denied him that privilege. Again, that straight right hand from Carl Williams, and it's quick. There's that stiff left jab, and Ferguson took it flush in the face. When Carl Williams was fighting as an amateur, and I recall him, he was much like Tyrell Biggs. He would fly around the ring, and his arms were loose. But he, like Biggs, has become a little more stationary, getting much more leverage, and has learned to defend himself, obviously, much better. And he rattled Ferguson again with that left-right combination. And Jessie Ferguson right now looks a little tentative. Pace slowing just a bit here in the second round. Ferguson came out, as he had said that he wanted to do, and went straight at Carl Williams. He wanted to take the fight to him rather than sitting outside letting Williams pepper him with that very strong left hand. And it looks as Ferguson still wants to do that. But he is certainly more wary now of the short right from Carl Williams. There's a big left hook by Jessie Ferguson, followed by a right to the side of the head, but Williams runs away from the rest of it. That was the best punch of the fight so far by Ferguson. There's a left hook thrown in there by Williams. Ferguson covered from the right hand. Ferguson in the dark trunks, 13-0. And Carl Williams, 16-1, only lost 2 homes. Larry Holmes, we know earlier this year, made 20, as a matter of fact. Long left, and it's tough. Round number 3, heavyweights. Jessie Ferguson in the dark trunks and Carl the Truth Williams in white trunks. 2 of the many young heavyweights looking for their chance to wear the title. Eventually, one would assume down the road, we will have a succession of fights that will give us, hopefully, one champion. That has not been the style of late. Ferguson now starting to come back some, working to the body and then trying to hook to the head. He missed to the head, but he landed to the body. Oh, hard right hand drives Ferguson into the rope. First it was a left, and then the whistling right hand knocked him back into the rope. The referee, Larry Hazard, did not see it as something akin to a knockdown, and so did not give Ferguson a standing 8 count. But Williams now opening up on him in the corner. Hard left hook. Williams is in trouble. He's down. It was the left hook by Jessie Ferguson, and the minute he hit him with the left hook, Williams' eyes rolled up, and Carl sagged slowly to the canvas. And so Jessie Ferguson now trying to turn it around. Williams had been pounding and pummeling Jessie Ferguson in Ferguson's corner, and then suddenly that whistling left hook nailed him flush on the jaw. And Carl took the 8 count. Williams looks all right now, but you know inside of him there's more respect, and again the left hook by Ferguson. Ferguson with a big round, a hard right hand by Jessie Ferguson, and he's putting the pressure on Carl Williams, who's hurt. Williams sagging into the ropes, and Larry Hazard will give him, I'm sure, here a count. No, he won't. He did not. Carl Williams almost going down in that flurry. And it's been the big left hook by Jessie Ferguson that has caused Carl Williams all the trouble. We're in round number 3. It's belonged to Ferguson, and that whistling left hook just missed that time. And I mean to tell you, that punch has some power in it. The right is short, but the combination that follows lands on the face of Jessie Ferguson. Both fighters look a little weary right now. Big bombs so far. Ferguson covering in the corner. He was covering in the corner a while ago when he let go with a big one. That put Williams down. Williams with a hard right hand. Another hard right, a hard left, and a combination by Carl Williams, and Ferguson gives ground. Into the final seconds of the third round. We'll stay and have a look at Carl Williams, who's having trouble finding his corner. Here's the early part of this round where Williams seemed to have Ferguson in bad trouble, knocked him back into the ropes. But you can see that Larry Hazard was right there and did not call an 8 count on it. And Ferguson came in, took his balance. Then he was backed into the corner right here where Williams was really ripping at him. But watch this left hook. Boom, right there. And from that point on, it was a chase across the ring. Carl Williams, dazed for a moment, sat down, got up after 8. And then later in the round, he took another left hook that drove him across the ring and into the ropes and almost went down again. So that one belonged clearly to Jessie Ferguson, who did in that round what he said he hoped to do. Carl Williams looks all right as he comes out to answer the bell for round 4. Pops that left out. That's his advantage in his reach and the quickness and the hand speed that he possesses. Moving a little more here in the 4th round, too, after being decked once and almost put down for a second knockdown in that 3rd round. Ferguson takes a hard right hand in the corner, but seems to shake it off. Comes back with his left hook, and Williams picked part of it off. I'll tell you one thing, I don't believe Ferguson is skilled enough yet in his career to sit there in the corner and try to cover all of the weaponry of Carl Williams. He's too quick. He has very good leverage, too. To the body goes Ferguson. This is where Williams will pick him apart. Ferguson needs to get him crowded just a bit. There's that left. After 10 rounds of that, folks, I'll tell you, you'll have a headache. Ferguson missed as he tried to move quickly with his left hook. Neither fighter seems to be marked. Williams suffered an early cut in the corner of the left eye in his title bout against Larry Holmes. There's that combination again, and most of it got home. Ferguson looks all right. Those blows by Carl Williams not landing solidly, but they will have their effect as time goes on. Carl Williams out here in the 4th round got his mouth open. That normally indicates some degree of fatigue, but in his particular case, it may not be so. There's the left hook thrown from the corner, followed by an overhand looping right from Ferguson, and they both landed. But Williams shook him off, and he still got him pinned. 20 seconds to go in round 4. Carl Williams, in this kind of a circumstance, building up an edge in points, no question about it. Good hard right from below, another right over the top, both landing by Carl Williams.
Roger.
We go to round 5 here in Atlantic City. Carl the Truth Williams in white, Jessie Ferguson in black. Some people are wont to say that today's crop of young heavyweights make up mediocrity. Well, that might be true, but only in the sense that most of them are young men and their professional experience has been limited. But if, in fact, Larry Holmes steps aside and retires after winning his 49th, or even if he decides to go ahead and break Marky Marciano's record and win 50 without a loss, there's enough quality in this group of young heavyweights that eventually one is going to emerge that will be of superior quality.
There you go. There you go.
There's Ferguson sitting back on the ropes. And again, I say to you, he cannot afford to do that because Carl Williams will just pick him apart and build up an obvious point advantage. They score by round in New Jersey with a supplemental 5-point must disqual. Now, we obviously know by now, having watched 4 full rounds, that Jessie Ferguson is an effective counterpuncher. But you can't wait too long before you start counterpunching. Coming off the ropes or out of the corner. That right hand to the head hurt Ferguson. The left hook knocks Carl Williams down. That's the second time he's put Williams down with that left hook coming off the ropes. Oh, boy, did he spin him around. I mean, he lifted him off the floor. Now Williams is going to have to run a little bit to get his faculties together. In the 3rd round, Williams went down from one of those lefts, was hurt a second time from it, and again he's down here in the 5th round. I would say, on the other hand, that Williams won the 3 other rounds. Or 2 other rounds, and going into that big left hand, he was ahead in this round. But you can see what the one big punch can do for you. Williams throwing far and away the greater number of punches. Oh, that left hook from Ferguson. Missed with it there, just. Half a minute to go. Round number 5, and Carl Williams looks all right. At the end of round number 5, good fight. A look at the big left hook by Ferguson in that 5th round. Boom. Boy, Carl Williams just spun around, went down. And now we go into round number 6. Despite the 2 big left hooks by Ferguson, I am of the opinion that probably Williams is leading in the fight, and New Jersey scoring 3 rounds to 2. Oh, there's that left again, right on the jaw. Williams shakes his head. He's throwing more punches, but Ferguson seems to be throwing the bigger punches. Ferguson in the dark trunks and Williams in white. Williams' expression really doesn't change much, even when he has been tagged. But you can see it in his eyes. The first left hook, his eyes just spun around. Boy. On the other hand, Ferguson is virtually impassive. You know he's been hurt, but he has shown nothing. Blinks on that left jab that stung him right in the nose. It was right between the eyes, and it hurt him. I'd like to alert our local stations that we will, at the end of this round, take a station break. Missing with the right hand, Williams, after digging to the body. The left hand, advertised as the primary weapon for Carl Williams. And he has landed it a lot in this fight. But it has not impacted Ferguson as much as some thought it might. Hard right to the body by Carl Williams. Ferguson a little late that time getting his hands up. Seems a little bit weary at this point. There always comes a time in every contest on almost anything where you got to look to that second wind, and perhaps this is the time for Jessie Ferguson. We're in round number 6. 20 seconds to go in round 6. These two youngsters are not sparing the horses. They're spending everything they've got. We'll be back with more of ABC's Wide World of Sports after this. 7 we go. Young heavyweights, Paul the Truth Williams and Jessie Thunder Ferguson. Williams, 25, didn't start boxing till he was 20. And Jessie Ferguson at 28 learned to box in the Marine. And a combination by Carl Williams. It's a round system scoring with a supplemental 5-point must here in New Jersey. And despite the big punches by Jessie Ferguson, I have the feeling that Williams is ahead because of the round scoring system, perhaps by as much as 4-2. He's simply thrown more punches than Jessie Ferguson, even though Ferguson put him down in the 3rd round and again in the 5th round. At least Williams has shown his resiliency to come back from being nailed by a big punch. And both the left hooks that put him down were big punches. When he is stunned, Ferguson comes flying out of the corner and chases Williams out of there. And he suddenly reverses things. And it perhaps comes as a result of being stung. He told me he doesn't think much about pain, but he knows that when he is hurt, it strengthens his resolve, and he has shown that. Every time he has been stung, he has come thundering back. And he did right there. Oh, good right hand by Williams. And a good right to the body. And now Ferguson looks trouble. Wild with the left. And late with it. Perhaps a sign of fatigue. 7th round. Both men got to be feeling the pace. Ferguson looks like he wouldn't mind coasting just a tad here to get his wind. We've seen Williams sitting on the ropes and back in the corner being fumbled a couple of times and suddenly exploding. That time Williams hits him with a right uppercut sharply on the chin. But right now Carl is holding and pinning Jessie Ferguson right against the ropes, trying to take away any leverage from Ferguson in that big left hook. Inside a half minute to go in round 7. Been a bit of a flat round for Ferguson. He's thrown 3 of those in this round and missed with all 3. It's still, however, a tough fight. Round number 8. Heavyweights, Carl Williams in white and Jessie Ferguson in the dark trunks, and Ferguson now showing some signs of fatigue because Williams has thrown far and away the greater number of punches. 3 big left hooks by Ferguson have been pretty much the story for him in this fight, and it's a round system scoring which would seemingly give Williams a considerable edge at this point. Next Monday night here on ABC, the college football season. CFA football opens on ABC. And we'll be in Athens, Georgia, along with 83,000 other folks, for the Georgia Bulldogs and the Alabama Crimson Tide. A couple of old Southeastern Conference foes, and it should be an exciting way to spend Labor Day night. So join us at 8 Eastern Time, and then the following Monday, the 9th of September, we'll have the opener of NFL Monday Night Football on ABC, and it matches up one of the great traditional rivalries in the National Football Conference, the Washington Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys. That move right there, I think, shows you that Jessie Ferguson is tired. He's taken a lot of punches. This is round 8. Ferguson looking for the big one, and Carl Williams controlling the center of the ring and picking away at it. Williams. Partially landed. He's scoring now with that right hand. Didn't he get to the body? There's a right hand to the head by Carl Williams. Ferguson looks tired. A wicked straight left. Staggers him. It's a right hand to the jaw by Williams. Ferguson trying to weather it here in round 8, and another right hand by Williams. I told you way back in the second round that the accumulation of punches would have their effect down the road, and I think they are now beginning to impact Jessie Ferguson. However, Carl Williams can certainly, with truth, tell you he's been in a fight. During the intermission between the 8th and now the 9th round, Carl Williams showed a flicker of a smile in his corner. Seemingly relaxed now, aware as he visited with his trainer, Carmen Graziano, that he does, in fact, have this fight under control. But he must be wary of the power of Ferguson from here on. So he may change his tactics just a bit here in rounds 9 and 10. Ferguson showing fatigue, particularly in the last round, the 8th. Left by Williams. The way Ferguson is retreating now, and he is in full retreat in this round, he's not setting himself. He's not so far so that he's in proper posture to unload that big left hook. He has done it each time coming off the ropes, and that's where he is now. And he tries it, but he doesn't get it. Meantime, Williams continues to peck away with that long left hand, a reach of 82.5 inches. And again, the tools of Williams. He's a good athlete. He has very good feet. And you fight a lot with your feet. Goodly portion of your fighting is done with your feet and legs. Very good balance. Ferguson now backing up. Giving up real estate. Rubbing at his eye, and a hard right hand. Doubled up by Williams, and Ferguson rubbing at his eye. He's right above me. I can't see if he's cut or not. Right now, Carl Williams has got Jessie Ferguson pinned in the corner. Larry Hazard right there with him watching. Larry doing a good job. Not obvious except when he is needed. Now Ferguson comes ambling out of the corner, having lost some of the charge. It's been a dominant round for Carl Williams. 2 wild swings by Ferguson. Jessie now has a mouse under that lump under that left eye. And Williams is just popping away on it. A pretty good left hook that Williams threw there that landed on the side of the head of Ferguson. Ferguson trying to cover. It's a right hand that puts him down. Jessie Ferguson bombarded in the corner, and finally a right hand put him down. He's very, very tired, and the bell literally saves him. So he'll come to his corner and try to last out number 10. But right now, Carl Williams is in total control. This was more an accumulation of punishment than the one punch. There's the punch that put him down. But throughout the 9th round, Ferguson had been absorbing punishment from the flashing hands of Carl Williams, and finally he just simply succumbed to it. But fortunately for Ferguson, it came at the close of the round. And now they're working on that lump under his eye, trying to keep it from puffing up and impairing his vision in the final 3 minutes of this fight. Brent Hume will bring you the latest news, World News Saturday. That will include, of course, the latest information on Hurricane Elena, which is beginning to pound away at the coast of Florida. It has already caused an awful lot of trouble down there. So Brett will have the latest for you. This is the final round, number 10. Ferguson will have to knock him out to win. Williams is in control. Pounds at the body. Williams enters. A hard right to the side of the head. Jessie Ferguson is down and may not get up. It was a wicked right to the side of the head, and Jessie trying to find the energy, trying to find the concentration to stand, and he can't do it. And he is stopped in the 10th round, counted out. I'm not sure they'll call it a knockout. It may go down as a TKO, but Carl the Truth Williams has won the fight. He did not have the energy, did not have the concentration to stand erect, and the fight is stopped, and I think they will call it a stoppage. Here it is, the end of it. Very tired and down at the end of round 9. And then backing into the corner, tried to flurry to the body. Here, Carl Williams nails him with that right hand to the side of the head, and Jessie went down hard. Just barely got up at the count of 9, and referee Larry Hazard said, that's enough, and they put a stool in that neutral corner, and the doctors immediately come into the corner to determine if he is all right. So he seems to be okay now as he talks to them, nods his head, and then walks back to his corner. But he absorbed a tremendous amount of punishment, and it does go down as a TKO, 223, round number 10. As Carl the Truth Williams comes off the loss to Larry Holmes and scores an impressive win today over Jessie Ferguson.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee...
Have you driven a Ford?
About your resiliency, the ability to come back after absorbing a big